What's up, everyone? I'm the one, the only, the comic outlaw, Jack Slater. Yeah, you know who I am, and you know my game, my claim to fame. Yeah, we're doing Deadpool number 4, Thanos versus Deadpool to be exact. This is it, y'all, the final issue. We're gonna find out who is gonna come out of this, who is gonna win the affections of death, and who is gonna face the wrath of eternity, who has kidnapped his own sister in order to make everything eternal. And it's interesting that eternity actually goes on to explain that she will never feel death, but he feels death. Since he is everything, he feels planets being destroyed. The affairs from the Infinity Gauntlet, Phoenix, all these events, Galactus. He feels these planets, beings, everything die within him and then begin anew. So he wants to stop it for all. But the in-betweener, who is a representation of both order and chaos, is trying to get him to bring death back into the fold. But just when he was about to sweeten the deal, I guess, Mephisto opens up that portal, and there's Deadpool, Thanos, and my main man, the Chicken Man. And of course they find death, and Thanos starts professing his love for her as Deadpool just cuts him right off. And Death is more happy to see Deadpool than Thanos, and this just pisses him off. And he's getting ready to kill. He needs something to destroy. And he thinks it's going to be Deadpool. And wham, he hits him one. But then they find out they have bigger problems. Eternity himself, who banishes the in-betweener from his realm and decides that he's going to destroy Thanos himself for taking him over during the Infinity Gauntlet incident and for just generally bringing death across eternity. But as death is free, she makes both Deadpool and Thanos avatars of death. For now they can hurt eternity. They can strike him, and where they hit, death will spread all over. And these two are ready to fight, united for once, under the banner of death. And now they're just smacking around eternity, and like I said, every time they hit him, they can feel like billions of stars dying. So this is a massive amount of death is getting spread around with every blow, every hit. It's weakening eternity. And Deadpool's just having a great time, He's just killing and killing and killing, he's getting a little carried away. And eternity smacks him around, but Thanos is just relentless. Thanos has wanted this since he was a child. The death of eternity. The death of everything. For he has declared himself the enemy of life. And now that he has his opportunity, he will smash it into dust. But it's kind of funny here. Deadpool goes, we got the girl. It's time for us to ride away. Maybe have a little three-way kiss session. Get a little spanky on the booty. But no. Instead of accepting this gracious invitation, Thanos decides to take a shot at him. He's been wanting to do that for all these issues now, so you really can't blame him. And he begins to try to rip the head off eternity. As Deadpool crawls back to death, saying that he just needs a minute to get back into the fight, she brings him back to life. And now he realizes that death wants him to live for some reason. And Deadpool realizes that without life, there's no balance. So he grabs a knife and decides to stab Thanos in the back. And Thanos throws him into eternity. And Thanos continues his work, beating the hell out of eternity as Deadpool wanders the cosmos, drifting. And he ends up in those dead bodies from part 1, kind of freezing up. And now he comes face to face with a cosmic power, the Uni-Power, the power of eternity. And this little alien kind of realizes that he doesn't have the juice to take on Thanos, but Deadpool does. And I just love how this is a great responsibility, and you should accept it. He's like, absolutely not. But still, he's ready to rock and roll with the Uni-Power. And there he appears, Captain Deadpool, ready to fight. The living representation of life. And this surprises Thanos because Deadpool's an assassin, a killer. And yet he's representing life. And this is a very interesting thing between Thanos and Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool is a killer. Deadpool does do a lot of messed up things, but he's wild, unpredictable. He is the living representation of life, as is Thanos the representation of death. And that's why Mistress Death has a thing for both of them. They represent two sides of the same coin, but the fight continues. Blast after blast. And Deadpool mentions, like I mentioned before in a previous issue, that Thanos had a respect for him for just living and fighting and fighting. And this is where Deadpool kind of tells him, as much as you think that you serve death, as much as you worship death, as much as you kill, you're still fighting for life because you fought to live, to hold on, to survive. And that makes you a servant of life as well as death, because he exists only to carry out the balance, the cosmic balance, as does eternity and death, as does order and chaos. And Thanos begins to slip deep into the void, for death has swallowed him up and disappeared him into the abyss to think about his past crimes. And, well, the Chicken Man, just happy that he lives, just kind of waves goodbye to death. And they have a little talk with eternity. And Deadpool basically tells him, look, I've been an immortal. I've been an immortal for years now. And I've become a real jerk because I just don't appreciate life. And I've come to realize that death has to be there for you to appreciate life. Otherwise you don't. Life is a gift. Time is a gift. Use it wisely. And also Deadpool wants 60% of the Captain Deadpool toys, of course, throughout the multiverse. He gives a little shout out where he wants to be dropped off Earth and finds Eternity's ticklish spot, which Deadpool just can't help but decides to let the tickle monster loose. But order is returned to things. People are dying. Creatures are being slaughtered. And Deadpool concludes this story at Doom's house. Figuring he ought to just kill him, and if Doom would be good enough to remove his armor, so he could take that shot at him, so he could deliver him to Mephisto once and for all. But Doom politely declines his offer and blasts him out the window. And of course, our friend Black Talon, aka the Chicken Man, decides to retire. He's seen what a life of death worshipping gets you. And he does not want to become like Thanos, the man trapped in the abyss of his own pain and destruction. And that's our story, y'all. And I'll catch you on the flip side.